This morning, we'll tell you what's next for the Wisconsin Supreme Court after Janet Protasiewicz wins over Dan Kelly overnight.
We're covering all the big races this morning, and that includes the race for Madison mayor. Hear from both candidates.
And we're having a line of storms racing through southern Wisconsin. We'll see how long this will last coming up.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this very busy post-election Wednesday. We have a lot of major results to get to this morning, but we're also tracking some severe weather.
I think this line of storms made a record time from the, the west side to the east.
Yeah, you know, it's cruising along 55 miles
really
an hour.
did.
So
who's next?
Wow.
Who's going to get it now?
Well, Milwaukee probably within the next half of an hour because it is moving so fast, and that's what we're dealing with this morning. It's basically moved through Madison now. It's moving on to the east side, but it has formed a line that extends up into central Wisconsin through Janesville, right along I-39 here, down toward Rockford. So this is a line that may produce some gusty winds. It looks like for now the severe weather threat is pretty much done, but as mentioned, it is racing Watertown. Expecting this here very shortly. Fort Atkinson, that's looking at that coming in at about 6:02. Delavan expecting that at 6:16, and Oconomowoc at 6:22. So this storm is racing at 55 miles per hour, and it should be done with fairly quickly this morning. Sustained winds though this afternoon just behind the front that'll be moving through 20 to 30 miles per hour, some gusts to 45 miles per hour, but you're really going to like the forecast going over the next week or so. Have to dodge the storms this morning. The winds will kick up, and then we're talking about some strong winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour. We'll talk more about the nice warm-up into the weekend, into next week coming up.
Nice warm-up. He is not kidding. Looking really good. Okay, let's get back to our election coverage this morning and the story of the day. The story of the day here is the shift in the balance of the state Supreme Court.
Yeah, Janet Protasiewicz coming away with the win. Here are the numbers. Take a look. It was not a close call here. Called at 8:54 p.m., less than an hour after the polls were closed. Protasiewicz, again, the runaway winner, beating Dan Kelly by a full 13 points here. Protasiewicz will start her 10-year term already this summer.
Josh Breiter, he is here in studio now with some of the big issues that Protasiewicz will face on the court. Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. After the most expensive judicial race in American history, Janet Protasiewicz's term here at the Wisconsin Supreme Court will begin on Tuesday, August 1st, and last until 2033. This is big news for Democrats across the state. For the first time in 15 years, the high court will be controlled by liberals. It comes at a time where there are a lot of issues on the docket. Abortion, redistricting, and Act 10 could all be impacted. Janet Protasiewicz has been open about where she stands on Roe v. Wade and gerrymandering in Wisconsin. The majority on the court in the next presidential election also makes it more difficult for the GOP to sue over election results. So there's a lot that we're watching here. Again, Protasiewicz's term begins late this summer at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll have more on the conservatives' next chance at flipping the court, guys.
All right, Josh Breiter reporting for us this morning. Thank you, Josh. To the watch parties now. A jubilant Janet Protasiewicz thanking her supporters in Milwaukee after the win was announced. During her remarks, she repeated a theme of extremism we heard often in her campaign, saying the voice of the people of Wisconsin has now been heard.
Just over a year ago, I got into this race. I made the decision because I saw that Wisconsinites were ready for common sense and fairness on their Supreme Court. They were ready to put aside the partisanship and put aside the extremism and to have an impartial court, and a court that makes decisions based on the law, not on a political agenda.
This marks 2 consecutive Supreme Court seats the liberals have now won. We'll break down where they won big in this election, making that swing of the court possible, coming up in about 20 minutes.
Meanwhile, some rather strong words from Protasiewicz's opponent, Dan Kelly, in his concession speech. Our Armand Rahman was at the campaign watch party in Green Lake.
The race was called less than an hour after polls closed, and it was a charged concession speech from the former Supreme Court Justice. But based on his performance tonight, compared to his performance back in 2020, the loss may not have seemed that surprising.
She's demeaned the judiciary with her behavior. And this is the future that we have to look forward to. in Wisconsin.
Now, both Kelly and current Supreme Court Justice Rebecca Bradley, who spoke before him, echoed that they are worried that the judicial system in Wisconsin will side with the legislative branch too much going forward now that Protasewicz has won. They're alluding, of course, to Protasewicz's open stances on abortion, redistricting, and more.
I wish that in a circumstance like this, I would be able to concede to a worthy opponent. But I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede.
Now, despite all this, Kelly did say that he respects the state of Wisconsin's decision and wished Wisconsinites luck.
Because I think it's going to need it.
In Green Lake, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
All right, now to the race for Madison Mayor. Satya Rhodes-Conway will serve a second term after a big win last night.
She beat her opponent, Gloria Reyes, with a hefty margin here, almost identical to the state Supreme Court race. 56 to 44%. Shane Hogan is here with what she says she'll focus on in her next 4 years. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Leah. That's right. Satya Rhodes-Conway keeping her seat with a margin of roughly 11,000 votes this morning, taking a concession call from Reyes less than 2 hours after those polls closed last night. The race highlighted city issues like affordable housing and public safety. Reyes launched her campaign with a focus on the latter, saying she was concerned about what she saw as a rise in crime. Rhodes-Conway touted priorities of hers, including significant changes to the city's public transit system, as proof of her leadership. In her victory speech, she said she will continue that work that she started in her first term.
My door is always open. My office is here to serve, and we are working on the things that Madisonians care about, that we hear from folks every day, and we're going to keep right on doing that and serving the people of Madison.
I was the underdog this entire race, but I've been an underdog my entire life. And so I know what it feels like. And this is exactly how it felt like. This whole time that I ran this race, it was really tough to tackle the institutional politics that exist today. But I'm just so proud that we did this.
During the February primary, Satya Rhodes-Conway received 60% of the vote, while Reyes only got 28%. Last night's margin of 55 to 45, a tighter race than she faced against former Mayor Paul Soglin in 2019, when Satya Rhodes-Conway won with 62% of the vote. So Gloria Reyes made up some time since February, but again, another term for Mayor Rhodes-Conway.
Yeah, and you heard her talk about the significance and being proud of her campaign, getting out and showing, young people of color that someone in her position and someone who looks like her can make it, and can have a very competitive race. I mean, you saw the gains that she made from the primary up until the election last night. Shane Hogan with the Madison mayoral race. Thanks, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. Breaking news within the last half hour here. 100% of precincts reporting in the special election out of southeast Wisconsin for state senate.
Let's take a look at the latest numbers this morning. So Dan Nodal has claimed victory in this race. This is the 8th Senate district, and it has some very big implications. The supermajority for the Senate is at stake here, and that, of course, comes with some very big powers for the legislature. Democrats, though, have not conceded this race, calling it too close to call. If Republican Dan Nodal does win, the GOP has that supermajority in the Senate, and that means they'll have certain impeachment powers and a few other powers here. So this is a very significant one, and one to continue to watch this morning.
A number of other races across the viewing area, including a handful of mayoral elections on the ballot. Let's go to Fitchburg now. Alder Julia Arata-Frada overcoming Common Council President Randy Udall in that race. We have 100% of precincts reporting in that election this morning. That gives Arata-Frada a 52 to 48% win.
One of the referenda that was good for schools last night is the big one in Adams Friendship. The future of the school district was at stake, really, in this referendum. The district asking voters to exceed the revenue cap by $3 million over the next 4 years. This is its second go around at this one. It lost the first time. And you see here 61% of voters in the Adams Friendship district supporting funding the district with 100% of precincts reporting.
Across the viewing area, another big referendum in Boscobel for a middle school, high school site expansion. Let's take a look at those numbers. The district had been asking for more than $21 million to make that expansion happen. It would cost about $140 per $100,000 in property value. Take a look. 53% of voters in that neck of the woods saying yes to the 47% of the voters saying no there.
And in Deerfield this morning, let's take a look at a race here with 100% of precincts reporting. This was another school referendum, this one to make improvements to their high school. The district asking for nearly $50 million for the renovation. And that one was approved too with 63% approval.
And in Middleton, Emily Kuhn securing her win in the mayoral race against Kathy Olson. This race, 55 to 45%. This was an election to replace the outgoing mayor, Gerdit Brar. 100% of precincts reporting in that race as well. Of course, lots of races across the viewing area with new numbers still coming in this morning. So to check any local races or referenda in your area, be sure to download our Channel 3000 News app. That's your home for all election results as well as local news.
Still very popular this morning. Getting a lot of traffic still as everybody's waking up and wanting to know who won in their community. It is 6:10. Coming up, we'll have continuing coverage of former President Trump's criminal case, his reaction to the charges, and what he's saying about the judge who's overseeing the case.
And the Bucks in action last night. Did you catch it? We'll have the highlights as they try to finish out the season in the top spot in the conference.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere 1025R with a 120R loader for just $195 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Can a cream really reduce wrinkles? More than 100 women tried L'Oreal Triple Power.
The wrinkles look so much softer now.
Triple Power visibly reduces wrinkles, firms, and brightens.
I'm amazed.
I saw results in 1 week. Revitalift Triple Power from L'Oreal Paris.
It does what it says.
Precision is an excellent company. We had an idea of what we wanted, but we weren't sure how to put it together.
It's kind of one of those things that I personally take pride in, making sure that the people make the right decision.
We highly recommend Precision.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
For over 50 years, Purina Cat Chow has been helping cats feel at home with trusted nutrition. No wonder it's the #1 dry cat food in America. Come home to Cat Chow.
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
Hello there, fellow students.
Could you keep it down? Oh, hey, sorry. I can't stop these kids from rocking, but I can help you replace all this. Rock on! With free installation on Felco windows, siding, doors, and roofing, plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. There's never been a better time to upgrade your home. This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. Join us on air, online, and in your village, and take Time for Kids.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere Gator utility vehicle with 0% for 36 months and no money down. Get a John Deere Gator now and
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Former President Donald Trump back in Florida today with a criminal case number now attached to his name.
He's now the first president ever to face criminal charges. Christian Benavides reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
There is no case. There's no case.
A defiant former President Trump returned to Florida to address supporters following his arrest and arraignment in New York.
This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, and it should be dropped immediately.
Inside a Manhattan courtroom Tuesday, Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, a case brought on by Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg.
The criminal is the district attorney. He should be prosecuted, or at a minimum, he should resign.
Bragg's 16-page indictment alleges Trump concealed hush money payments to 3 individuals, threatening to reveal negative information about him during the 2016 election. They include adult film star Stormy Daniels, former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal, and a Trump Tower doorman.
These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
So far, former President Trump has not been barred from publicly discussing the case, but was warned by the judge not to make statements that could incite violence. Late last night, the 45th president went after that judge and his family.
I have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife and family.
Trump has denied any wrongdoing in the case.
He's frustrated, he's upset, but I'll tell you what, he's motivated.
His lawyers say they'll file a motion to dismiss the charges. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The next hearing in this case, by the way, is scheduled for December 4th. The former president will be expected to appear.
6:15 now. Kelly Slifka continuing to monitor that line of storms heading out of our area, Kelly.
Yeah, really racing through. It didn't last long, but it came in very quickly as well. Moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. High-resolution radar indicating it's moved to the east of Madison, moving through Jefferson County, Dodge County toward Watertown, right along I-94. You can see how quickly these storms moved in. You can see the lightning bolts with it. I don't really think we'll have any severe weather threat now with the cell, but there could still be some gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour as it is moving to the east now through Watertown, through Jefferson, now seeing some of the brunt of this storm as it's continuing to move on to the east. Then down to the south, we can see that it has moved to the east of Janesville, moving out of Rock County. But this line of storms extends all the way down to Illinois, and that's where the main threat for severe weather will be. Now, last night we had a lot of hail and wind reports down in parts of Illinois, in south central Wisconsin, just south of Madison and Brooklyn, 1.25 inches. This was about just after 10 o'clock. Then toward Rockdale, 1.5 inch diameter size hail. Dodgeville had 1.5 inch size diameter size hail as Monroe. Almost 2-inch diameter size hail. So that's getting to be some pretty large hail that moved through. So these storms will move in and out fairly quickly. On the backside of this storm system, we're going to deal with some west winds at 20 to 30. Some of these gusts to 40 miles per hour. The good news is we've got some quiet weather to end the week, and much of next week looks pretty quiet as well. Warm front has now pushed to the north of Madison, and it is a dramatic change in temperatures. We were in the 40s, and I know it says 44 here in Madison, 46. These are outdated temperatures. We are in the 60s now this morning. It's going to be short-lived, though, because eventually that cold front will be passing through, and that'll drop our temperatures through the 50s. So we're in the 60s now, but as that cold front passes through, the temperatures will fall into the 50s going into the afternoon. We are expecting some sunshine, but the west winds will be the big stories. They will be gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. This morning they're out of the south, but they will switch around the west. Sustained winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. So that may blow things around. Finally, it looks like spring is here as we will see above average temperatures, it looks like going into next week. So we have the alert day for the storms this morning. Then we've got the winds this afternoon with some sunshine returning. A little cool the next couple of days with temperatures in the 50s. The weekend will be warming up in the 60s. A few showers or thunderstorms for Easter Sunday. It won't be a complete washout. That's out ahead of some warmer weather, looking at temperatures well into the 70s much next week.
Sunday, Johnny Davis got his first NBA start, and the former Badger scored a career-high 16 points. Tuesday night, he and the Wizards were facing his hometown team. The Bucks looking to lower their magic number and get closer to clinching the top seed in the East. Davis had something to say about that. First, he dials one out from deep to put the Wizards on the board. And then how many times do we see this at the Kohl Center? Davis comes up with a steal and then puts the Drew Holiday on a poster. He finished with 20 points, but it wouldn't be enough. Later, Giannis drives and dishes to Brook Lopez for the easy slam. It was a 28, 11, and 10 kind of night from Giannis. Bucks win 140 to 128. Greg Garzalone, senior on last year's squad, has decided to run it back for his 5th and final season in Madison. Tyler Wall announced the news saying, quote, "We're not finished." He's coming off a year where he averaged 11 points and 6 rebounds while battling through an ankle injury. With Wall returning, that means Wisconsin returns their entire starting 5 from a season ago. Remember, Brad Davison did this and closed out his career with a Big Ten title. A.J. Dillon in the house for Game 2 between the Brewers and the Mets. The Packer running back just a bit outside on that first pitch. But that didn't slow down Brian Anderson in the batter's box. First inning, Anderson bounces one off the wall for a 2 RBI double. Anderson finished with 6 ribbies. Brew Crew win again. 9-0 is your final. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Zach. 6:20 now. Coming up, we're going to hear from the winner of the Supreme Court race as we continue our coverage of Campaign 2023.
Watch News 3 Now at 5 with Eric, Susan, and Gary. Weeknights.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
My name's Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family, too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Celebrate Easter weekend with a massive 3-day savings event at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Shop Friday, Saturday, and Monday for rock-bottom prices on top brand appliances, plus low monthly payment options and free delivery in 3 days or less at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
We rented and rented and rented on the hopes of buying it someday. Bill and I not having any financial education at all.
Coming in first time talking with Amanda was, all right, well, what's the track? What do you do?
She taught us how to correctly do things financially and how to build our credit, how to purchase our home.
When you ask for advice and then you follow advice on it, you can really get where you want to go.
The Paco Credit Union truly helped me believe in myself again.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Celebrate Easter weekend with a massive 3-day savings event at Ashley. Shop Friday, Saturday, and Monday for rock bottom prices and bonus discounts on closeout items. Plus low monthly payment options and free delivery in 3 days or less. All at Ashley.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobison, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobison.com to apply.
We're back. We want to thank Linda for sharing her morning with us. You guys remember when it was snowing?
I miss it.
There was a lot of snow this winter.
You miss it?
Take.
What?
I love the snow. I'm a big fan. I hate spring.
You didn't think that we had a couple too many snowstorms there late in the season?
Thursdays were my favorite day of the week this year. I loved it.
Well, this is a lovely picture, Linda. We thank you so much for sharing it with us. Folks, if you want to share your morning, we'd love to see it. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning when you post on social media. All right, maybe after the storms totally move out this morning, it'd be a good day to lace up those sneakers and get a walk in. It is National Walking Day. Since 2007, the first Wednesday in April, the American Heart Association takes time to remind folks out there that walking's good for you.
It is.
So the American Heart Association encourages you to walk with a friend. Make it fun. Maybe it's a human friend or even your dog, like this person here in the video. And be sure to stretch, drink lots of water, and move your arms as well. Okay. My dog has not gotten a walk in 3 months and some change. Oh, really?
She gets no attention.
She does have a
so
backyard
lonely.
to play in and to run around in.
She does. She does. She just kind of lays there, and every once in a while we'll say the word walk, and she's so excited, but she gets nothing.
Oh.
So
watch out for the puddles though this morning. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not walking her. It's a mess out there, and I have a baby.
I'm telling you, strap that baby on.
That's so much work. That's so much work.
It is.
It's heavy.
You gotta get one of those you have a jogging stroller?
No, not yet.
Yeah, those can be okay.
We could do that.
Speaking of Bascom, did Bascom have how did Bascom adjust to Zeke coming home?
So Bascom is the sweetest. This is my dog. Sweetest animal ever. Bernie's mountain dog. Great with kids. 100 pounds of pure love. Licks the poor guy constantly. Ears, face, toes, fingers, diaper.
Best friends for life.
It's like we don't have to bathe him. Bascom's got it covered.
That's good.
But she's getting no attention. So even my in-laws have said she seems depressed. So if anyone wants to walk my dog for National Walking Day, pop over.
Thank you. She deserves it.
She does deserve it. She's a good gal.
All right, we're tracking some storms that are pushing out of the viewing area.
Yeah, it actually moved through very quickly, but did produce some heavy downpours, a lot of lightning. You can see it's basically east of our areas, moving through Jefferson and Dodge County, now moving toward Lake Geneva and Milwaukee. We'll see that. You can see the fog in the wake of it. Temperatures in the 60s now, but falling throughout the day as those west winds pick up at about 15 to 25 miles an hour.
All right, thanks, Kelly. We're back with more election coverage right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
My experience going to Ortho Teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Get 11% off your bathroom projects at Menards. Max has more than 1,000 shower doors, bathtubs, and showers to add luxury and style to your life. Get a Saks freestanding bathtub for $699.98 after rebate. Finish your renovation with a Mica shower faucet. This all-in-one faucet includes a rainfall and handheld shower head, giving you a spa-like experience. Now just $199.97 after 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Right now, Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
Do you trust your insurance agent? Do you trust your insurance company? Well, you'd better. Because all they've really sold you is a promise. A promise to be there when things go bad. A promise to take care of you. To step up and put everything back the way it was. So, if you don't trust your insurance company, maybe it's time to find one you do trust. West Bend. The worst brings out our best.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We do the math, people.
For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
My experience going to Ortho Teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
We saw that Wisconsinites were ready for common sense and fairness on their Supreme Court.
Right now, Wisconsin shifts the balance of the state Supreme Court. We'll break down what it means and the important timelines.
And 4 more years of Satya Rhodes Conway as Madison mayor. New overnight, we'll hear from her and her challenger.
And storms are racing through southern Wisconsin. We're expecting some winds to pick up later today.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. On this very busy post-election Wednesday, we have major races to talk about statewide and here in Madison, plus some severe weather.
Is there election pizza left over from last night?
Yeah, I had a few pieces.
Is it? Okay.
Is it good?
It's still small in my hands.
Still got some.
You didn't bring us any?
You want some?
Do you know what kind of an eater I am?
I've been very busy this morning.
That's true. That's true.
That's very true. We've had a really strong line of weather roll through at a really quick pace.
Yeah, it probably only lasted about 20 minutes, but it moved through at 55 miles per hour. Thankfully, we didn't really get a whole lot of severe weather out of it. It's moving to the east now of Madison, toward Watertown, now moving through Jefferson County, now east of Janesville, and it's headed toward Milwaukee. In the wake of it, we're going to be quiet except for some winds, but this extends way down to the south, and that's where they have the severe thunderstorm watch into northern Illinois, all the way down the south. We're on the northern fringe of that line as it is racing through, and it will continue to move on to the east toward Milwaukee. So we've had the storms that are rolling through this morning. Once again, they're pretty much to the east now. Now, as we go into the late morning hours in the afternoon, we're going to see some winds sustained at 20 to 30. Some of these gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Make sure you secure any lawn furniture, any garbage can that you have out this morning. You're going to like the forecast going into next week, though. We're talking about some much warmer weather. Definitely going to feel like spring. You do have to deal with the winds today, so if you are driving a high-profile vehicle, be on the watch out for that. Those winds will be out of the west at about 20 to 30, some gusts to 40, but it should be dry for the afternoon into the evening.
All right, Kelly Slifka, thank you. Back to our election coverage now as we take a live look at the state capitol with a new balance on the state Supreme Court and a Senate race with some major implications to talk about.
Liberal-backed Janet Protasewicz will take her seat on the high court with a strong defeat over conservative Dan Kelly. The margin here, 56 to 44%, with 99% of precincts reporting. Protasewicz will start her 10-year term on August 1st.
Josh Sprider here now with what's next for the high court. Hey there, Josh.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Janet Protasewicz's win is big and will for sure have an impact on the state of Wisconsin. This is the first time in 15 years that the high court will be controlled by liberals. It comes at a time where there are a lot of issues on the docket, including abortion and redistricting. So what is next for Justice Protasewicz? Well, her term will begin Tuesday, August 1st and last until 2033. Protasewicz will fill the seat left open by retiring conservative Justice Patience Roggensack. Roggensack has served on the Supreme Court since 2003 and was Chief Justice from 2015 to 2021. The next chance conservatives have to flip the court would be in April 2025. That's when Justice Ann Walsh Bradley is up for re-election. So liberals will have majority control for at least the next 2 years. The race between Kelly and Protasewicz gained national attention, becoming the most expensive judicial race in American history. Guys.
All right, Josh Sprider, thanks a lot. Our Will Keneally was at the Protasewicz watch party in Milwaukee as they celebrated last night's win.
A jubilant crowd here in Milwaukee as Janet Protasewicz easily wins her race for the high court. Her election also flips the balance of the court, giving liberals a 4-3 majority now. During her remarks, we heard the justice-elect addressing some of the themes of extremism that we heard from her throughout the campaign. She says that the voice of the people of Wisconsin has been heard, and that they want a fundamental shift from the court away from the conservative majority.
Just over a year ago, I got into this race. I made the decision because I saw that Wisconsinites were ready for common sense and fairness on their Supreme Court. Thank you, Kathy. They were ready to put aside the partisanship and put aside the extremism and to have an impartial court, and a court that makes decisions based on the law, not on a political agenda.
Her victory over conservative Dan Kelly also saw her deliver big margins in liberal areas like Dane and Milwaukee counties. Margins like we saw in Dan Kelly's 2020 loss, which marks 2 consecutive seats that liberals have won on the bench. We'll await Protasewicz's inauguration, which will take place this August. Reporting from Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 This Morning.
Meanwhile, some choice words from opponent Dan Kelly in his concession speech. Take a listen to his comments to supporters at his watch party.
She's demeaned the judiciary with her behavior. And this is the future that we have to look forward to in Wisconsin.
We have some more of those tough words from his speech coming up in the morning sprint.
The Wisconsin GOP has released a statement about last night's election. Let's take a look. They thanked voters and volunteers across the state for the turnout, which was triple the previous Supreme Court election, the spending record. It tripled the previous Supreme Court spending record. In part, the statement says our strong turnout and unprecedented spending was overcome by the record-smashing millions of out-of-state dollars poured into Wisconsin campaigns, which simply allowed their message to dominate this campaign.
The Madison mayoral race also in the books this morning, with Satya Rhodes Conway securing a second term over her opponent, Gloria Reyes.
She took the win with a big margin, 56-44, if we could advance those election graphics. 98% of, or 100% of precincts reporting this morning. You see Satya Rhodes Conway with 56% of the vote compared to Gloria Reyes's 44. It's a 13,000 vote difference between the two. Our Shane Hogan has more from both candidates. Comments to their supporters. Shane?
That's right, Chris. That margin almost identical to the Wisconsin Supreme Court race as well. And Mayor Rhodes Conway says it's confirming that she is on the right path and will continue her work from her first term.
Last term, I was the mayor for everyone, and that's what I will be in the next term as well. And my door is always open. My office is here to serve, and we are working on the things that Madisonians care about.
Rhodes Conway also said that the results of her election and the state Supreme Court election open up doors of possibility for the state and will ultimately benefit Wisconsin. Her opponent, Gloria Reyes, said that she still feels like a winner getting this far.
I stand before you tonight with a heavy heart. The voters have spoken, and I have not been elected to serve as your next mayor. While I am disappointed with the outcome, I do not consider this a loss.
Reyes congratulated her opponent and said that her campaign opened many doors for young people and children watching, letting them know that they too can succeed. Rhodes Conway became the city's first openly gay mayor when she was elected back in 2019, winning 62% of the vote this year. So a little dip here for her re-election, but re-election nonetheless.
All right, Shane Hogan on the Madison mayoral race. Thanks, Shane. Okay, now let's talk about Senate district with a lot on the line here. This race would determine a supermajority in the legislature. And Dan Knodel has claimed victory in this race with 51% of the vote. Democrats, though, have not conceded this race. Yeah, supermajority on the line here, which gives them a number of additional powers, a bigger threat to the governor, and we are watching this one closely still, as Jody Habush-Sininkin and the Democrats have yet to concede this race.
Lots of races across the viewing area with new numbers in this morning, including that one. So to check on any local races or referenda in your area, be sure to download our Channel 3000 News app. That's your home for all election results and your local news.
More legal developments for former President Donald Trump. A federal appeals court has denied his bid to stop his former aides from testifying in the special counsel's January 6th probe. That includes his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. Trump had claimed that he had legal protections around his presidency that would block certain testimony from former top administration officials. The swift decision means Trump's former advisors, including Meadows, could be brought into the federal grand jury in Washington by prosecutors in the coming days.
More local news now. We now know the identity of the man who was shot and killed on Madison's west side last week. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office says 39-year-old Scott Ellis died from gunshot wounds to his torso, pelvis, and his legs. The shooting happened in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Tree Lane Thursday. Two men are under arrest in connection with the shooting. Both are scheduled to appear in court on April 11th.
Remember the story, the computer cable that was stretched across a popular Madison bike trail? Well, Madison police have now made an arrest. They say a man confessed to stringing the cord across a popular bike trail on the southwest side. It happened multiple times. Remember that? DNA evidence led police to a 34-year-old man who lives in the area where those cords first started appearing. This is the Badger State Trail near Allied Drive. Even after police would take them down, the cords would keep coming back. It happened multiple times. It created a hazard, of course, for cyclists who wouldn't see it. Police say the suspect was arrested on suspicion of first-degree recklessly endangering safety.
It is 6:39 on your Wednesday. Let's take a live look outside as the sun comes up over Madison. More active weather moving out of the area this morning. We'll get the latest track on a storm pushing through and the outlook for the rest of the week. Stay with us.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza. A lot more.
That's our extra-large New York-style take-and-bake pizza. And it's everything you'd expect from a classic New York-style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven, and only $9.99.
Do I have to share it?
It's recommended, but not required. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Yee, classic beef and cheddar hard. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. Skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work, giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go National. Go like a pro.
Spring for new floors now and save. Spring brings sunshine and muddy paws. You'll find our durable, easy care floors look beautiful too. On sale now at H&R Carpets and Flooring in Wanakee.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Schedule your comprehensive eye exam at shopko.com or bring in your outside prescription.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
A toddler sexually assaulted and a Poynette mother crying out for justice.
I'm terrified to see his name again next to another little girl's name.
In a News 3 Now investigation, Catherine Merck looks into why the perpetrator didn't make the sex offender registry. Thursday at 6. News 3 Now First Warn Weather. Trust the experience of Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti and the First Warn Weather team to help you plan your day and alert you whenever and wherever you need it. First Warn Weather, keeping you ahead of the storms. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
All right, back to our election coverage as we get to some more results across the state.
Good night for schools across the board, but
Yeah,
not
you're right, it really
necessarily in Beloit. A pair of referenda on their ballot down there not passing. The first to spend $19.5 million on improvements for the school district. All results in on this question. It was a tight one, but ultimately a no, 51 to 49%.
Hey, that second question asked voters to exceed levy limits by $23 million over the next 2 years. That one also failed, 53% to 47% with 100% of precincts reporting.
Over to Milton now, a race for mayor there. Anissa Welch winning 1,100 votes there, 64% of the vote, with Tom Chesmore at 36%, just 660 votes.
One final mayoral race to get to, this one in Monona. Incumbent Mary O'Connor She beat out challenger Christy Goforth with 56% of the vote.
A reminder, you can find all of these races and their outcomes over on channel3000.com.
Sure can. All right, we have some active weather that's been pushing out of the viewing area. Any more storms, do you think, today, Kelly?
No, I think we're done with it. We did have the storms race through the Madison area. Walworth County does have a severe thunderstorm warning. So this is moving out of our viewing area. Actually, it's now moving to east of Jefferson County. You can see the radar spinning there. So it's headed toward Milwaukee. That's where they're going to see the storms. In the wake, things are fairly quiet. These storms really race through as they move through overnight. In fact, they were actually tracking at 55 miles per hour. We didn't get a lot of severe weather reports. There might be some small hail that comes in, but that's it. We're done with the storms after these rounds of storms we had over the last 24 hours. It looks like we're done with it now. You can see it's east of Jefferson, east of Watertown, moving near Elkhorn and toward Walworth, seeing some of these showers. Janesville kind of on the tail end of it here just south of Madison. So we're done with the storms now. We do have to deal with a little bit of cleanup for some, especially areas to the south. And actually, we'll just take a look at some of these storm reports here in central Illinois, just off of Interstate 88. Numerous semi-trailers were blown over, so we'll have to investigate that. A lot of hail reports near Chicago. In southern Wisconsin, we did have some hail reports just southeast of Madison and Brooklyn. About 1.25 inches. This was around 10 o'clock. Almost 2 inches in Monroe just before 10 o'clock. South Beloit had inch diameter size hail. Then over there toward Dodgeville, around 10 o'clock, 1.5 inch diameter size hail. So we did have some large hail. Now it's done with. We're done with the chances for some storms. Those have now moved to the east. What we will have to deal with are some strong sustained winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour. We've decreased that chances of gusts to 50 miles per hour a little bit, but still could be blowing things around, and we're looking at some quiet weather to end the week going into the weekend. So the warm front has passed to the north of Madison, and that's allowed for some warm air. Disregard Madison and Middleton. Temperatures are in the 60s. These have not been updated, but it's a mild start to the morning, but this will be about it. It looks like the temperatures will drop as that cold front passes in. That'll usher in those winds. Temperatures slowly falling through the 50s throughout the afternoon, and we'll look at a little bit of sunshine going into the day, but these winds still up there at about 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained going into the afternoon and evening, gradually coming down later this evening. We're looking at a 6 to 10 day outlook, above average temperature. It looks like spring is here finally for good. 50s tomorrow and Friday, our first warm forecast into the Easter holiday weekend. Our only chance of rain will be later Sunday. It doesn't look like anything widespread or anything severe. And then we're talking about some 70s much of next week.
All right, thanks. Now the forecast, I'm really looking forward to that. We need some sunshine, don't we, folks? All right, former President Donald Trump back in Florida this morning with a criminal case number now attached to his name.
He's now the first president ever to face criminal charges. Christian Benavides reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
There is no case. There's no case.
A defiant former President Trump returned to Florida to address supporters following his arrest and arraignment in New York.
This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, and it should be dropped immediately.
Inside a Manhattan courtroom Tuesday, Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, a case brought on by Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg.
The criminal is the district attorney. He should be prosecuted, or at a minimum, he should resign.
Bragg's 16-page indictment alleges Trump concealed hush money payments to 3 individuals, threatening to reveal negative information about him during the 2016 election. They include adult film star Stormy Daniels, former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal, and a Trump Tower doorman.
These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct.
So far, former President Trump has not been barred from publicly discussing the case, but was warned by the judge not to make statements that could incite violence. Late last night, the 45th president went after that judge and his family.
I have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife and family.
Trump has denied any wrongdoing in the case.
He's frustrated, he's upset, but I'll tell you what, he's motivated.
His lawyers say they'll file a motion to dismiss the charges. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The next hearing in the case is scheduled for December 4th. The former president will be expected to appear.
It's 6:48 now. Our election coverage continues coming up in the morning sprint.
We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The local water experts at Culligan can take care of everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, we do that too. Culligan, here for every water worry.
Mad City, a division of Renewity, the local service you deserve, now backed by unmatched national strength. We are Wisconsin's #1 remodeler. And now we're looking for 50 homeowners who need new windows. Receive special savings on new Eco Sky windows featuring Sky Mirror technology. And with Mad City's Price Lock Guarantee, once you receive a free design consultation, we'll lock your price in and guarantee it for 1 year. Be one of 50 homeowners who call now and receive free installation on a house full of new windows with no interest and no payments until 2025. Senior military discounts plus call during this program and receive a free $50 Amazon gift card with your in-home estimate. Ask about Mad City's Do More discount on baths, showers, or cabinet refacing. Mad City, a division of Renewity, the local service you deserve, now backed by unmatched national strength.
We had Mad City to do some work for us in the past, and we liked the work that they did for us, so we were satisfied.
Mad City is A+ rated with the BBB, more than 50,000 satisfied customers, and now we're looking for 50 homeowners who need new windows. Check out our Eco Sky windows, beautiful custom fit Energy Star rated windows, styles including bay, bow, double hung, and sliders. Call Mad City Windows now. The first 50 homeowners will save with free installation on a house full of new windows. With no interest and no payments till 2025, senior military discounts, plus call during this program for a free $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call with zip code and location to qualify. 608-338-1616, 608-338-1616.
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
Hello there, fellow students.
Coil Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable.
6:52, time for the morning sprint.
A big night for Democrats as they swing the state Supreme Court for the first time in 15 years. Janet Protasiewicz will take her seat on the High Court in August after a 56 to 44% win against conservative Dan Kelly. She garnered more than 1 million votes compared to Kelly's 800,000.
I do not have a worthy opponent to which I can concede.
Dan Kelly there, not mincing words in his concession speech last night. Kelly called his opponent deceitful and a danger to the court. The race between Kelly and Protasiewicz gained national attention, becoming the most expensive judicial race in American history.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway securing a second term overnight. The margin much closer than the February primary when Rhodes-Conway won 60% of the vote. She beat her opponent Gloria Reyes 55 to 45.
Gloria Reyes also addressing her supporters last night. In her concession speech, she said that she was disappointed in the outcome, but does not consider it a loss. She said she's proud of her campaign and the issues it helped to bring to the forefront of the election.
Breaking news this morning out of a race in southeast Wisconsin, 100% of precincts reporting in the special election for state Senate. Republican Dan Nodal with a razor-thin margin has claimed victory. Senate Democrats, though, did not concede overnight, calling it too close. If Nodal maintains his margin, the Republicans would have a supermajority in the Wisconsin Senate.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office says it's made an arrest in connection to an alleged stranger sexual assault on an Oregon bike trail. Richard Cunningham of Brooklyn, tentatively charged with second-degree sexual assault, strangulation, and felony bail jumping. He's accused of tackling a woman on the Oregon Rotary Bike Trail and sexually assaulting her nearly 2 years ago. She then fought him off.
We now know the victim in a murder on Tree Lane last week. The Dane County Medical Examiner says 39-year-old Scott Ellis died from gunshot wounds to the torso, pelvis, and legs. The shooting happened in the parking lot of an apartment on Tree Lane last Thursday. 2 men are under arrest in the shooting. Both are scheduled to appear in court on April 11th.
In storms from yesterday, Iowa was issued several tornado warnings, as well as Illinois. The video here shows a moment as a funnel cloud formed near central Iowa. It's unclear at this point if this touched down or not, or exactly what size it was. There have been 30 storm-related deaths this week.
Dramatic security footage capturing the moment lightning struck a truck parked at the Greene County Highway Department in Springfield, Missouri. Did you see that? Officials say the strike cracked the truck's front and rear windows and caused damage to the interior as well. It also blew off several manhole covers and damaged nearby equipment. Fortunately, nobody was hurt here.
Well, here's a good reason to sit down as a family and have dinner. A new research shows that sitting down and eating with your family just for 10 minutes a day can lead to higher nutrition for your kids. The study showed that children ate significantly more fruits and veggies. And most children, as we know, don't necessarily follow nutrition recommendations. Also, in longer meals, kids drank more water.
Take a listen to this story. In California, the LA Metro station has a new way to cut down on crime. In recent years, subway crime has been on the rise, but with the help of some new research, they decided one solution would be to play classical music. In just the few months of trying this, emergency calls are now down 75%. Overall crime down 20%. They say the music helps avoid loitering and other types of crimes.
Interesting.
Really?
All right, Kelly, what do we got?
Well, it looks like most of the storms have now well onto the east of our area. They just raced across southern Wisconsin, moved from Dubuque in western Wisconsin, now moving toward Milwaukee since about 4 o'clock. So it just raced across southern Wisconsin. And we should be quiet now for the rest of the morning going into the afternoon. So looking at those storms racing on through. So as you plan your day, the winds will be the main story now going into the afternoon. They'll be up there sustained 15, 30 miles per hour. Could see some gusts going up to 40 miles per hour, but the storm chance is done with now. We'll actually see a little bit of sun as we go into the afternoon. The first warning forecast tomorrow, a little chilly. Same goes for Friday. Overnight lows in the upper 20s, afternoon highs in the low 50s. But that looks like that's it. It looks like a very springy forecast. Easter Sunday may see a few showers, but otherwise fairly quiet. And temperatures in the 70s much of next week.
Love it. Thank you, Kelly.
Stick around, folks. We'll have another news and weather update in 30 minutes.